3 minutes, I haven't even said anything yet. We've been trained to want to see the line item prices, but there's a certain way to do it that protects the scope and protects your profitability, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. Sweeto Burrito, Rumby, Culver's, McDonald's with my wife's grocery list on the back. Rumby, In-N-Out Burger, that's probably mine. Costa Vida, Costa Vida, Costa Vida. How did we get to $31? And I look at the receipt and I see how it's all broken out. 3 grilled chicken burritos and 2 grilled chicken kids quesadillas. $31.19. Wow, that's kind of expensive. And then I can go back on those line items and see how I arrived at that price. We've been trained by restaurants, retail stores, and pretty much everything else that we purchase to want to see the line item prices. Now, in the creative industry, it's no different. I'm Michael Janda. I share systems and strategies that can help your creative business. Today, we're going to be talking about line item pricing, how to break down a project by line items and then show your client the total. Most people are doing it the wrong way. I used to break down my prices based on line items for each deliverable. A client would come to me, they would want logo, business card, and letterhead, just a standard stationery package. So I would say, okay, it's $1,000 for the logo, it's $500 for the business cards, and it's $400 for the letterhead, a total price of $1,900. And then I would present that to the client in a proposal, and they would look at it, and they would chew on it for a day, and then they would come back to me, and they would say, okay, let's do $1,000 for the logo and $500 for the business cards. But you know what? We decided we don't really need the letterhead, and so let's pull that item out. And I would be stuck doing the work for $1,500. Now, it wasn't going to cost me $400 worth of time to do the letterhead. It was an economies of scale play. I was going to be able to design the logo and the business cards, and by the time the letterhead came around, I was already going to have a design sense of what this brand was going to look like, and I was going to be able to create the letterhead in a quick manner. So $400 wasn't the right price to put for the letterhead, but I couldn't show the client that it was $100 because they would look at it and say, hey, you know what? We're going to have somebody else do the logo and somebody else do the business cards, but we want you to do the letterhead for $100. Well, that didn't work either because I was going to do all of the mental design work leading up to the letterhead, the logo design, the business card design. By the time I got to the letterhead, I could do it fast. If you took out the logo design and the business cards, it was going to take me a lot longer to develop a brand style that I could apply to the letterhead. Okay, so that's the problem. So what I found is that you can't break down your line item prices based on deliverables. You have to do it based on phases. So I would take that same type of project, logo, letterhead, business cards, and I would say phase 1 is going to be the initial design concepts. That's $1,000. And in phase 1, we'll come up with sketch ideas of the logo. We'll develop some of the initial business card ideas, and we'll present to you just some rough ideas for you to choose from. Initial design concepts. Phase 2 would be to refine those design concepts. We're going to take the client's feedback and we'll apply it to these new designs and polish things up as we get further into the project. And then phase 3 would be pre-press, where we go and create pre-press, press-ready files for this project. Now, the client can't take out any of those 3 items. They're all necessary, but I can charge $1,500 and $400, the same price breakdown I was going to do for the deliverables. I can charge it based on phases. In this situation, the client can't look at the project and say, oh, you know what? Let's pull out the pre-press. Well, they're not going to want to do that. They need the pre-press. They need those press-ready files. They can't look at it and say, you know what, let's save a little money and pull out the $1,000 initial design concepts, because you can't get to phase 2 without phase 1. So this strategy saves the scope of the project. It allows you to charge the same amount, $1,900 or whatever it might be, and break it down by line item prices the same way that we've been trained by restaurants, retail stores, and everything else that we purchase. But you can do it so that the client can see how you arrived at that larger price, but it saves the scope. It makes it so the client can't pull any piece out of the project to try and make it cost less. The rule is to break down your total price based on phases and not deliverables. If you've ever had a client try and pull a piece out of a project to make it cost less, tell us the story in the comments below. You're not alone, but this will help you protect that scope in the future and protect your total price. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that red button. We'll see you in the next video.